You guys, I'm going to dive right in because I have so many questions for you. How does it feel to be able to share with the world that you are in love?
I mean, it's like a weight's been lifted off our shoulders.
Yeah, absolutely. Freedom.
Feels good.
Zac, I know you're kind of new to the Bachelorette and Bachelor world. Was it hard for you to keep all this a secret? Did you have to figure it all out?
I think the overwhelming response from my close circle over the past, 12 hours is that I'm a vault. Like, they're just like, how did you hold this in? And Tayshia laid it down and I followed direction.
Good job.
Nip tuck. You were not allowed to say anything.
Now, Tayshia, show me that ring. Did that ring ever accidentally make it into an Instagram, or was that a different ring?
I guess I could come clean now. Yeah, it accidentally did. Okay.
What was that moment like? A little scary?
I actually was freaking out. I was screaming. I was running all throughout the house. He was with me, obviously, and it was a panic. But also at the same time, I kind of just played it off and kind of just like went away. So
I actually got to see her in crisis. So, crying.
Is that a good learning moment?
It was like my first, like, okay, she that's all right.
Okay. So Tayshia, you almost spoiled your season?
Maybe. I mean, honestly, who doesn't drink their coffee in the morning and have a couple diamonds on? Doesn't every girl do that? No.
Yes, you're just being a beautiful icon that you are. I love it. Now, Tayshia, I do got to ask you about, all these big finale moments.
Mm-hmm.
You said that Ivan was the perfect guy. You said you saw yourself with Brendan. You brought Ben back into the fold. I think viewers were really wondering with your season, how is this going to end? So how did you choose Zac? How did you know that it was him when you did seem to have major connections with these other guys?
At the end of the day, it was just like what I pictured my life looking like in 5, 10, 20 years, and like who I saw as like possibly being the father of my children, and just who was most compatible with me, who meshed well with my family. There's so many factors that go into it. And, all the guys are amazing, but I had a connection with Zac that I don't think I've ever really experienced with anybody else. And it just, sometimes you kind of want to fight those feelings because it's too good to be true. But at the same time, it was just slapping me in the face, essentially.
You seem to say that a little bit in that proposal moment last night, that it was beyond love. Explain that. How did you guys know that this connection really was it and hitting you right in the face?
Well, I feel like we felt it pretty early on.
Sure, yeah.
But at the same time, I feel like we were both a little bit hesitant to acknowledge it, just because it's like, hold on a second, this is happening way too fast. Are we really is this real? Is it just the situation? And I think it was during his hometown date that we were just it's undeniable. And it was kind of screaming at us at that point.
Yeah, once we got to the family piece of it, it was on.
That made the difference. Zac, I wanted to ask you, because you talked about this with your family. You said, I used to say I wasn't ready to get married and have kids, or maybe that I never wanted to. If you never wanted to get married, how did you end up on The Bachelorette?
That's a great question. My little sister submitted an application for me. She was pregnant with twins, and she lost one of the pregnancies. So if I could paint the picture, it was probably, March or April, and she's sitting at home in a deep depression, anxiety, the whole thing. And lo and behold, casting for the next Bachelorette comes up, and in this moment of just screw it, I'm gonna do this, she submits my application, and next thing you know, I'm getting a call from LA. I'm like, who is this? And
wow.
The rest is history.
So family really is behind a lot of this love.
Yeah.
Yes.
I will tell you, I did an interview with Noah, and Noah said, I don't really know how Zac can go from never wanting to get married to suddenly being ready to get married and have kids. And he seemed to question that a little bit. So tell the viewers, how did you know that you totally changed your mind on these pretty big things?
First of all, I love Noah. Tell him hi for me. I guess the muzzle's off. I can say hi to Noah. I truly do. He's an amazing man. And no, I think it's one of those cases where internally, I knew that I wanted to be a father. I knew that I wanted to have kids. I saw love growing up around me with all my best friends, but there was a little bit of fear in saying that out loud because I'm 36 years old and I don't have those things yet. So like I said at the beginning, having the time to kind of reflect on that and then meeting Tayshia, it kind of put things in perspective for me. So
Was it you putting up a wall because you were worried you weren't going to have those things?
yeah, I mean, that was part of it.
Yeah.
That was part of it. And like, I think there was things about the single life that I liked, like waking up on a Saturday morning, just going playing golf and not having to work, like there's like relationships are tough. So,
well, you guys have been in this bubble, the two of you, without being able to share things with the world. What has your relationship been like? Has it been, you've learned a lot about each other? What have you worked through? How have these happy couple weekends, as they call them, gone?
We've actually gone pretty well, but I mean, it hasn't been like easy breezy the whole time. I feel like we, just like any normal relationship, like we've had to learn how to communicate with each other, kind of like navigate when like, someone's like feeling that high of happiness and like someone's like not there and they're like having a bad day at work or something like that. It's just, you have to like learn how to be with each other every single day. And I feel like even watching the show back, it can get difficult at times for myself. It could get difficult for him. And we've had to navigate all of those situations as they come, but it's been really fun. Would you say that?
Yeah. I mean, it's not natural, right? It's not natural. And I think a large part of the world is experiencing it with COVID. Like all these relationships are being forced back into the home and couples are kind of staring at each other like, okay, what do we do now?
Zac, you just said, okay, one thing was the single life and going to play golf. Are you missing it? How are you feeling being in a relationship?
Yeah. Why don't you share with us?
Come on. Have I hid my emotions at all? I think it's pretty clear how I'm feeling. The smile says it all.
Well, I'm probably pushing you guys on this because you didn't have an AFR because of the pandemic. Usually we'd get this after the final rose and the fans would hear how you are. So last night on Twitter, everybody was, how are they? How are they doing? So I guess just tell the audience, where are you at in this relationship? Give me some adjectives. How are you guys feeling about each other months after filming has ended?
We're really freaking good.
Yeah.
I'm the happiest I've been. And I feel like our relationship is just so different than anything I've experienced and I've, thought I would be blessed to have. And so I'm doing well. I'm living my best life.
Yeah, I echo everything she said and I'm excited.
Okay, Zac's learned how to be in a relationship. He's echoing everything you've said. Got it.
I'm doing well, don't you think?
Yes is the answer.
Well, you said after your proposal moment last night that he's the gas and you're the brakes. So where are you guys at with next steps, with planning a wedding, with having kids, with moving in together? Where is all that?
You're the brakes?
I know. I think
that surprised me that you said that. I thought it was the reverse. I don't know. Who's the gas and who's the brakes?
Well, at first he said that he was the gas in the beginning when we first met each other. He was like, I need some brakes. And I'm like, I could be the brakes for you. But in reality, I'm the gas. He is the brakes. So
that's what I thought. Okay.
Yeah, that's more like it. We've figured it out. But as far as like the future and what that holds, we're just gonna live our happy, engaged life. I'm gonna be bi-coastal. So I'm gonna be in New York quite a bit, but also here in Orange County. So that's really fun and exciting.
Yeah.
What else?
No, yeah, she's gonna get to see the city and I'm gonna get to see Orange County and we're gonna just really take it slow, but enjoy this like special time in our lives and know that, without this solid foundation and, learning all that there is to learn about each other, like everything else will fall into place.
Yeah.
Would either of you be willing to move across the country for the other?
We've talked about it. Yeah, of course.
Zac, this must be wild for you. Your first day of interviews and you're talking about being engaged and stuff. This is just so funny. You didn't even have like an interview as a contestant at first. Usually we would go interview you on the date or something. You're just diving in.
He really is. He really is.
I mean, that's kind of been this whole experience, to be honest. I kind of just showed up here.
Tayshia, fans did have a big reaction, again, going back to the episodes, but to you sending Ivan home. I think they were shocked by it. Tell me what the reasoning there was. We heard a mention of religion, but I'll be honest, I didn't fully understand it.
Well, I think like the beauty of like a fantasy suite date is that you have that opportunity to really talk about things you might be shy about talking in front of the camera and everything like that. Like really just diving to the nitty gritty of a relationship and what the future could possibly look like. And sure, religion was one of the reasons, but there was multiple things that we talked about that, I just, that we just kind of didn't align on. And at the end of the day, when I was looking at my relationships with Zac and Ivan, it was just that I saw my future with Zachary, and that's kind of like where my heart led me, and I can only just lean into that. And unfortunately, yeah, that's just where it had to end.
Oh, she called you Zachary. Is it Zac or Zachary? It's Zachary.
She does call me Zachary.
Tayshia, your dad is somebody who makes his opinions known.
Yes.
How does he feel about Zac and this relationship?
Oh my gosh. Like, I don't think my dad has really acclimated to someone as quickly as he has to him. Like he adores him. And I'm really, really happy about that, because my dad's a tough cookie to crack at times. But yeah, he's been really welcoming to him.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
And it was, again, fans were really wondering how this was going to end. Ivan even said on his way home, he said he didn't think you were going to choose anybody.
I heard that. That was interesting to me.
Was that last night?
Yeah.
Yeah. Tell me why it was interesting to you. Was there, I mean, you were kind of wondering, we saw you question things, analyze things. Was there a moment where you ever thought, I just got to leave here single and go from there?
No, but I also didn't I didn't feel like, oh my gosh, I have to go. But I toyed with the idea in my head, like, do I really feel like I'm happy? Do I really feel like I'm getting somewhere? I feel like you have to be open to all possibilities. And I feel like if you were to be like, stress yourself out and be like, no, I have to get engaged. Like, are you really doing it for quote unquote the right reasons? You know what I mean? Are you going to be happy down the road? But yeah, that was interesting to me. I didn't expect that.
Did you think I'm ending up with this guy? Like, I mean, I don't know. At that point, were you thinking I might leave single, or was it you were totally head over heels for Zac then?
No, I think it goes back to the fantasy suite thing, when you start talking about, like, you just have conversations. And at that point, it's weird for me to vocalize, oh, well, this relationship is there and this relationship is there. It's just, maybe I was in my head a little bit and I was just just taking it all in. Other than that, no, I was still filling everything out.
Well, I have to ask you one tough question, and I'm going to ask it quickly so then we can move on.
Okay.
But, of course, we've watched you all season long talk about your divorce and things you went through there. And we saw you this week talk about your dad being there for you in that moment in the car when you were crying. You opened up so much to everybody. Your ex has spoken out about things, and I was just wondering if you guys have talked, where you're at with that, and how you're feeling about how everything's played out.
I think I've said it before, like, my journey is my journey, and I respect his perspective of how everything went. And at the end of the day, I hope he finds his happiness and he's doing well. And I know I am, and that's all I had to say.
A lot of people, Zac, I don't know if you've seen this, have likened you to Matthew McConaughey. And Tayshia, that's your celebrity crush, right?
So
have you found your celebrity crush in real life?
Essentially, yeah, I have. And he even said, all right, during the episode.
I mean, I will take a poor man's Matthew McConaughey. I'll take whatever, however they want to associate me with that man. He's a bad dude, and I'm here for it. Like,
have you gotten that before?
A couple times in my life, but not, obviously I'm a little bit more out in front now. So, I don't know.
Can I get an all right?
I think I retired that.
Now you're putting him on the spot. He's getting embarrassed.
Tayshia, as much fun and just so emotional as your season was to watch, it also got emotional with some tough topics, with the Black Lives Matter movement, with mental health. Mm-hmm. How would you advise future contestants and leads to continue to tackle those discussions and address stuff like that on camera and on the show?
I mean, I would just say, just to be honest. Like, if you're feeling like you want to know more about their lives, ask the questions. I think it just, the sense of security that you can give to somebody, just being like, I'm here for you and your story matters to me. And just creating that level of trust, I think allows people to open up. And I think that those conversations are so important to have, because down the road, they're going to come out eventually. Yeah. And you never know, it could really bond you guys between all of them. But I just feel like, just be honest and ask the tough questions, I guess.
She's not giving herself enough credit.
I don't know.
The reason those conversations happen is because Tayshia, is Tayshia, and people felt comfortable to bring those things to the table, and it's a testament to her. I mean, I know for me, my experience, if I wasn't comfortable sharing with her, I wouldn't have shared some things I did.
And I think people were glad the show went there this season. Did you feel that way?
I think so.
Yeah.
I think the world needed it. I feel like this has been such a tough year, and like people are looking for companionship and something to relate to. No one's looking for like the perfect life picture anymore. It's about being real and relatable. So.
All right, I got to wrap with you guys, but my last question, Tayshia, anything you would have done differently this season? And reflecting on that, what's your advice for Matt James?
I would not change a thing. And what's my advice for Matt James is to trust your gut, because it's always right, and just be yourself, and you got it.
Best proposal ever, Zac. That's what people were saying last night. You crushed it.
Cool.